Hello, everyone. Being 6 o'clock, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Would you all rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation of America, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome. Councilor DeNovo is virtual. And so then the first item on the agenda this evening is public comments. We have some public comments. All right, so I'll read a statement before we open up the public comments. Citizens wishing to address the city council during the time set for public comments are requested to sign in, which they have done here. But if you haven't, you still have the ability to come up and make a public comment if you like. The public comment period is intended for the public to share ideas and concerns. It is not intended for the interactive discussion with the council. There may be opportunities for public comments during specific agenda items that require a public hearing. Members of the public are requested to confine their remarks to questions or issues under discussion during this time. During any designated comment period, individuals shall not engage in personal attacks, shall not impugn the motives of any speaker, and shall at all times while in session conduct themselves in an appropriate manner. No person shall make personal, impertinent, slanderous, or unauthorized remarks or become boisterous while addressing the council. With that being the case, first person is Dr. Brian Wilson. Just come forth, Dr. Wilson, and give us your name and the city you reside in, please.
And the what's?
In the city you reside in.
Yeah, it's Dr. Brian Wilson, Coos Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, first,
I need to tell everyone too, they have 3 minutes.
yeah,
Okay.
that's why I'm going to be fast.
All right.
This is CBD nasal spray. It's the Narcan to THC. If I would like to see this in pot shops, person's high either by smoking, eating, or the oils and tinctures they use. In a household with kids, this is the only thing. Apparently Narcan doesn't work with THC. So I'd like to see this recommended, required in pot shops that sell any of that stuff. Okay? The second is 97, got in a car wreck, neuropathy in my feet, hips messed up, herniated disc in the neck, migraines every day. 2004, got in a car wreck, took my memory. From 2004, 2014, I don't remember. Short-term memory loss. While testing my oil concentrate in 2014, I somehow found a different way, and my memory and everything's fine. Might work for dementia and Alzheimer's, who knows? But after 10 years, my brain's just fine. I can't remember those 10 years very well. The other thing is, over the last 11 years, testing my oil, this can replace every over-the-counter pain medicine in the store. It can reduce opioid use out of hospitals by 90% easy. From those car wrecks, I had neuropathy in my feet, daily migraines, herniated disc in the neck, hips, back still messed up in pain. But you just rub this on and eat it. So the other thing is, last year I finally tested everything. Oh, it works everything. Pepper spray in the eyeball, that's what I'm talking about. No cure, right? No cure? No remedy for pepper spray in the eyeballs? This will stop it in seconds. Crazy, one of those crazies that you all let running around at the park, zapped me, got it on my, I'd never used my oil on my eyes, I'd use, it worked up. So I'd squirt in seconds, the pain stopped. I'd like to see every first responder have a jug of this. Burns. It'll stop burn pain in seconds. If a hospital had a tub of this, you could drop that person in there while you're changing bandages and stuff and reduce the need for narcotics. Not, like I said, 90%. This stuff is freaky. I'm just saying, nobody believes me, but except the people that use it. For migraines, I haven't had a migraine in 10 years. I haven't had neuropathy in, I guess it took about 6 months for that to finally go away. It's made with 2 grams of cannabis extract mixed with 1 pint of olive oil. That's it. And just for the record, it's also in the Bible. It's called the Balm of Gilead. I got an 1898 Bible dictionary that describes the sativa and the indica plant in a whole paragraph. You won't find it in Bibles and dictionaries anymore because they quit talking about it because nobody could prove it ever
Your
existed.
3 minutes is up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mike Powder.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mike Powder, 706 South Main Street, Goose Bay. And of course, I'm here again, harping off on and on about the roads and the conditions. And unfortunately, on Saturday, we had a serious bad accident on 101 by Toyota. It's really hard in this town to find any news on this sort of stuff. So I had to piece it together, and I got through social media and people I know. But I understand a 12-year-old girl lost her life, and a 10-year-old sister's in bad trouble too. This happens right at one area that we've been harping on it forever, and that's Kingswood and 101 around by wherever. That speed sign that needs to come, 45 needs to come down, it needs to be 30 miles an hour or less, and people might be alive today if we do that. I've gone on about that being such a bad area, and the only thing I can ask of the city is if the city councilors could start using their strength to get onto ODOT, to start making some changes, to get out there to change some of this situation. Reed Sport's not this bad. Gardner's not this bad. I go through many towns and none of them. Here, we've just got a speeding track of 101 between the two cities. And I think North Bend should be involved on it too. I think something should be done because it's a matter of time before it happens again. It's very dangerous there. Anyway, I found out on the internet who it was. Public schools put out a little letter saying who lost their life, and it's totally tragic. Anyway, that's all I got to say.
Thank you, Mike. Dean?
Good evening, Dean Lundy, Coos Bay. As some of you know, I retired from the San Francisco Fire Department. My last job, this wonderful job, was on 18 truck in the Sunset District in San Francisco. We called it Sunset Roulette. And so the engines did the first medicals, and all we did was car wrecks. So when I came to Coos Bay and bought the dock down there, I realized that was Spam in a can coming around the corner. A blind corner, 60 miles an hour. I saw it even before the Planet Fitness was opened. I thought this is really dangerous. So I'm kind of disappointed in myself because normally when we saw a danger, we either took care of it, or we got somebody on it, or we just wrapped it with caution tape until somebody got on it. And I'm disappointed in myself. I just haven't made a difference, and we've been working on it for a while. I should have gone to the ODOT meeting at the casino and told the gal Rosalie Sanger our concerns. I should have gone to the North Bend and Coos Bay commission meetings and told them, about my foreboding about that corner. We've had 2 fatalities this year right there at Teakwood, where I watch it all day. I should have talked to the mayor of Bandon, Mary, about how she kind of straightened out her town. I should have gotten John Lazure with ODOT down there to ride his bike and see our problems at Market and Teakwood. I should have looked up Elizabeth Spona and resurrected her big idea to have a river walk, connect the boardwalks of North Bend. I should have talked to Crystal Shoji and gotten her idea on how we could get ODOT to do that. I should have gotten Glenn Pedersen down here to look and have the guts to walk out on the corner there at Teakwood. I should have written 3 certified letters about formal notification to ODOT about that corner of Teakwood and 101. Should have met Dale of Brown Engineering and gotten a copy of their final master deal on how they straightened out Reedsport and kept the kids from getting hit from the 7-Eleven over to the high school in Reedsport, Brown Engineering, their final thing. I should have printed an ad in the shopper asking people what they thought we could do. Put out a sign up, kind of a thing. Should have gone to the park meetings and talked to them about our bike paths. I should have gotten the run logs from the Bay City ambulances and the Coos Bay and North Bend fire on all of their vehicle versus pedestrian stuff. I should have asked ChatGPT
You're 3 minutes.
to give me the words to express my frustration.
It's time.
Anyway, what I should have done is just walked across the street and added another. The criteria is fatalities. What I should have done instead of having a young girl get hit is just walk across the street and
Thank you, Dean. Is there anyone else that would like to make a public comment that has not? That being the case, I'm going to close the public comments. So, Dean and Mike, you keep coming and asking us to do something with ODOT, and we have tried, and all of us have tried. They have criteria to follow. You know it as well as I have. You've gone to the meetings. It's sad, and it's a tragedy that the accident happened and there was a fatality. So, but I don't know what else you expect us to do except what we already do. We have, we have planning director, we have engineers. They have to go through criteria like everyone else does. I agree that some of the things need to be slower, and they should be, and things should be better, but we don't have any ability to control certain things, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. We do control what we can. We try to make things better, and it's unfortunate that these type of things happen. So I feel sorry for the families and the ones that were involved in that. So I understand what you're saying, and we definitely have feel for them anyway. Okay, with that being the case, we're going to move on to our consent calendar. On the consent calendar, we have consideration to accept the Oregon State, Oregon Parks Recreation Grant and approve a resolution. My question is, we have a resolution in this. Do we need to approve the resolution separate from the consent calendar? No? Okay, I just haven't realized that we have resolutions sometimes in the consent calendar. All right, that being the case, council, how would you like to proceed with the consent calendar?
I move we approve the consent calendar.
Has been moved and second to approve the consent calendar submitted. No.
I will second it.
Thank you. Keep me on track here. Okay, now it's been moved and seconded. I just want to make a comment that this is for a $10,000 grant from Oregon Parks. And so it's great that we were able to continue on getting those grants and funds. That being the case, are there any other comments? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it passes. Thank you. Number 4 tonight, we have a couple presentations. We have one presentation, Commitment to Excellence Award given to the North Coos Dispatch Center by the Association of Public Safety Communications Officials, TESSA. How are you this evening? Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you guys for giving us this time to kind of recognize all of our dispatchers. We have a few of them here, so I'm going to invite them up front, please.
So how many dispatchers do we have?
So we currently are staffed with 18 dispatchers. We still have one open position that we hope to fill here in the near future. Unfortunately, with the critical incident that happened this weekend, a lot of our dispatchers are attending their debriefing for that.
Sure.
And we still have to maintain staffing in our dispatch center. So we have a few in there as well. So on September 24th, 2025, the North Coos Dispatch Center will be recognized for the Association of Public Safety Communication Officials, APCO, with their annual Commitment to Excellent Service Award. This is one of 4 awards given out every year, so it's a pretty big honor that North Coos is the one to receive this. The Commitment to Excellent Award recognizes a telecommunicator, group of telecommunicators, or an agency who has demonstrated commitment to the principles of excellence in 911 telecommunications through the following efforts and actions: dedication to the profession through comprehensive knowledge and skills, creative, innovative approaches to quality improvement, such as enhanced customer service policies and programs, quality improvement programs and reviews, promotion of the telecommunicator code of ethics by example, leadership and mentoring of coworkers, which provides a substantial contribution to the overall improvement and successful operation of the 911 center, developing innovative and creative approaches to training concepts designed to improve quality of service. Quality of service is consistent and without bias. That being said, in August of 2024, the Coos County Sheriff's Office Dispatch Center was facing a critical staffing shortage. The sheriff approached Coos Bay Police and North Coos Dispatch asking for assistance to help cover a few shifts to keep adequate 24-hour coverage in their dispatch center. North Coos, facing their own dispatch shortage, still agreed to help. It was determined the best course of action would be to route the 911 calls from Coos County to North Coos Dispatch at night and combine the staff from the two centers during these hours. Within a few days, Coos County was no longer able to provide staffing for all the evening shifts. The dispatchers at North Coos immediately volunteered to work overtime to fill these vacancies. After a couple of weeks of covering these shifts, Coos County announced their staffing had diminished below critical staffing and they would not be able to regain the staff required to keep their dispatch center operational. Within 24 hours of this notification, North Coos 911 was forwarded all 911 calls and took over dispatching for all user agencies of Coos County Dispatch. This all occurring over Labor Day weekend, one of the busiest tourist weekends for our area. Anyone who has been through a consolidation knows this takes a lot of planning, preparing, and training of staff. Unfortunately, the timeline for consolidation was immediate, and the dispatchers were not afforded the luxury of time, preparation, or training. That being said, every dispatcher from both centers played a vital role in making the consolidation successful. At the start of this merge, the dispatchers were attempting to work out of 2 different CAD systems, monitoring up to 9 radio frequencies and dispatching 27 agencies that all seemingly had different expectations and procedures in place. The call load, population, and coverage area had doubled. Even with the merge of staff from both centers, it only brought the staffing level of North Coos Dispatch back to the staffing needed to operate prior to the merge. Dispatchers from both centers were now faced with learning new agencies and jurisdictions they had not covered before. This was achieved by dispatchers cross-training each other, all while continuing to work the desk. Along with that, the Coos County dispatchers had to learn a new CAD system and were removed from a familiar work environment into a new center with new coworkers. Seeing the staff from both centers combining into one and being witness to the immediate teamwork and support that developed was nothing short of awesome. At the time of the nomination, only 5 short months had passed since contracts were signed and the consolidation became official. The North Coos dispatchers were faced with a number of challenges and changes in a very short period of time. They took those challenges all in stride with a positive and professional attitude. It was truly inspiring to watch the commitment and dedication demonstrated by each dispatcher to the profession and the community they serve. It's with immense pride I would like to recognize Jennifer Pickett, Holly Burris, Ronald Cotter, Andrew Otten, Tammy Allender, Kristen McGarity, Rhonda Wilson-Larson, Tracy Paulin, Samantha Fleming, Haley Sasente, Brittany Miranda, Kelsey Reed, Amanda Ott, Casey Stone, Stacy Aranda, Erica Powell-Luttrell, Annalisa Church, Janelle Dunning, and Kathy Larson with the Commitment to Excellence Award.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we just want to thank you for everything you do. It's more than we can even imagine. I know it's a necessary job that we all appreciate, and you're always there. And so thank you so much. Appreciate it. Next item on the agenda is a presentation of appreciation of service plaque for City Attorney Nathan McClintock. Nicole? I said it was strange having Nate sit over there instead of down the road here. Okay.
So I'll maybe start us out and then we can do the.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first, just wanted to thank Nate for the decades of service. He has been with the city almost 24 years. A few more months would have made that mark. We've seen lots of change in that time, and he did that all while raising a family and having a full-time practice. So the dedication to this community is amazing. He had that time and able to give us enough time here to support us through several different challenges over those years. From my perspective, he's been a huge asset as I transitioned in several stages here at the city of Coos Bay. Stepping into the finance director role, he was a go-to for several items that, you know, I was uncertain about, particularly around contracts and things like that. And then city manager role, assistant city manager, both of those, again, left me in front of Nate several times, like kind of getting some feedback on the right ways to go. So he's been essential to my transition, definitely essential to keeping us stable and as limited liability as possible, reduction of risk. So I appreciate that service that you've given to us and the time and energy while doing all the other things you already had on your plate. So we do have a plaque.
You better come up.
Yes, so.
Accept this wonderful reward that you deserve.
Here.
2001, yeah, 2001, let's see. That was my second year as mayor. And
I know, it was a
Yvonne,
long time.
I know, I hate to talk about these
I understand
times and whatever, but you've been an asset to this community, kept us as straight as you can with difficult, not me so much, but others, you know.
Not too different.
Kept us on track and many councils prior to us.
Yeah.
And anyway, you've gotten us through a lot of things, a lot of issues, kept us on track. You've been part of the team. You're going to be missed, but you're still going to be around
I am.
to give advice and keep us on track as much as you can without us looking down and asking for it. But anyway,
Right.
it's been wonderful. And yeah, I know your next chapter in life, whatever it may be. Yeah, I understand. I'm there myself. So anyway. As it says, presented to Nathan McClintock, City Attorney, City of Coos Bay, November 1, 2002. Oh, that was 2001. August 31st to 2025. With gratitude for your dedication, service, wise counsel, and steady guidance that strengthen the work of this council, staff, and community. Your commitment to integrity and public service will leave a lasting mark on the City of Coos Bay. And this is so true. So thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
You bet.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Got to say something. I've never known an attorney to be lost.
Well, it's been a pleasure representing the city, working with the city, working with staff throughout the time. I've had, I think, 6 city managers over the course of the time, and you know, everyone a little bit different. Everyone you have to adjust to a little bit, and it's been a blast. It's been fun, and you haven't seen the last of me. I'm still going to be doing some work when called upon, when needed, and well, I just do appreciate that. And my wife Karen, and my 2 youngest daughters, Marissa and Erica.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having our back.
All right.
Yeah, Nate, this is Lucinda from the Sky. I just really want to thank you. I know as a new city councilor back in 2016, I was so nervous in terms of making sure that I stayed in compliance with Oregon state law, and I was so grateful for your guidance. And you are the voice in my head now as I sit in other public meetings. And I hear you when someone says, I would like to let you know that I have a conflict of interest. And then I hear you in my head saying, no, that's not a real conflict of interest. It has to be an X, Y, or Z. So I just want to say thank you for, as Mayor Benetti said, you've always done an excellent job of keeping us safe, and it shows in what's been accomplished in this city. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well said, Lucinda.
Definitely. So we can't say enough good things.
I'm actually just more surprised at how much the girls have grown. Who's like young ladies now. I remember babies running around the house. Yeah.
When I started, they weren't around.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they're about to graduate high school.
Oh, my gosh.
I think we're
All right, thank you so much. Great seeing everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Okay, action items, council approval of National Preparedness Month proclamation. Chief Atkins.
Yeah, good evening.
Oh, there you are.
The city of Coos Bay has been a long time promoter of preparedness for disasters. Whether that's been adding additional funding, or grant seeking. So at this time, we're able to provide approximately 2 weeks of services to the citizens as far as food and shelter, water, for about 10% of the population. So we continue to promote different ways of preparedness, and one of those is with the proclamation for September. So the proclamation reads, whereas September is recognized nationally as National Preparedness Month, an annual campaign led by the Federal Emergency Management Agency to raise awareness about the importance of disaster preparedness. And whereas the 2025 national theme, Preparedness Starts at Home, emphasizes that resilience begins with individual households taking action by developing emergency plans, assembling supply kits, and strengthening connections with neighbors. And whereas the state of Oregon has adopted the theme Plan Today, Ready Tomorrow to highlight the need for proactive preparation against hazards such as earthquakes, tsunamis, wildfires, flooding, and severe weather. And whereas the Oregon Office of Emergency Management promotes the 2 Weeks Ready campaign, encouraging households to be self-sufficient for at least 2 weeks following a major disaster, recognizing that outside assistance may be delayed. And whereas the City of Coos Bay, through Coos Bay Fire and Rescue, actively prepares for assisting citizens in the event of an emergency, including the provision of food, shelter, and other essential needs, while also promoting the 2 Weeks Ready campaign through social media and the weekly Friday update. And whereas the City of Coos Bay recognizes that preparedness is a shared responsibility between government and residents, and that community resilience depends on actions taken today by individuals and families.
Now therefore, I, Joe Bennett, the mayor of Coos Bay, city of Coos Bay, do hereby declare that the month of September 2025 be known as National Preparedness Month. And I call upon all residents to take action, preparing their households, families, and neighborhoods for future emergencies and disasters. With that being the case, council, I need a motion to accept this proclamation, please.
I'll move we approve the proclamation declaring the month of September 2024. Should be 25 though, as National Preparedness Month.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the National Preparedness Month proclamation. Is there any comments or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it passes. Thank you. Thank you for reading the proclamation and always having our back also and keeping things safe for us and prepared. Next item on the agenda is consideration accept the Coos Bay Economic Development Strategy Plan. Chelsea.
Yes, good evening, council. As you're aware, staff has been working over the past year and a half or so on updating the economic element of our comprehensive plan. The project in its entirety was funded by the Ford Family Foundation, and they, when we approached them with the need for funding to update our comprehensive plan, they were very eager to also include this economic development strategic plan, as it takes that work one step further. And so I guess an important note is that we're doing this work kind of simultaneously as council was doing their own strategic plan. And of no surprise, one of council's top priority goals is economic development. And so we were very careful to make sure that council's strategic plan for economic development and this planning document for economic development aligned. So you'll see that it does. And I think the Ford Family Foundation, when pursuing this, really looked at Coos Bay, said, you're a leader on the coast. We know you prioritize these things, and we want to set an example. And so we've made it through. We've got the plans, got tons of action steps to take, aligns with council's strategic plan. And we're just here tonight to ask council to accept it by adopting a resolution.
I hope all council members of the process and, procedures we went through on this and, the individuals that were here. What was the company that was helping us?
Echo Northwest.
Echo North was here with the consultants and they interviewed people in the community and they interviewed the council, different entities and the staff. And this is specifically for commercial and industrial, right?
Well, the plan is for the city as a whole, but the work did focus on commercial industrial lands.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because there was some confusion at one time about we're getting into residential stuff and that wasn't really their task. So anyway. Any other kind of comments or questions for Chelsea about this?
I just want to say I found this incredibly helpful for framing and graphing out exactly kind of where we're at. So I love this.
Great.
All right, that being the case, I would need a motion and a second for this resolution, please, to adopt it.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 25-31, accepting the Coos Bay Economic Development Strategy Plan.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution 25-31, a resolution for the city of Coos Bay, Oregon, adopting the Coos Bay Economic Development Strategy Plan. Is there a second?
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention because I just thinking I had a question. So the point is, if DLCD requires that we go through this, right?
They require that we update our economic opportunities analysis. And this is a step further that the Ford Family Foundation wanted to help fund this extra step to set us up for some true success.
And specifically DLCD or DSL or?
DLCD does require the city to update their comprehensive plan, the economic element. They don't require them to do these additional action plans,
Which this does.
and that's what this does. Yep.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Questions? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it passes. Thank you. Consideration to adopt resolution 25-32, amending the city's fee schedule. Nicole.
Thank you. I'll start us out and then it's kind of been a team effort. So if there's gaps, feel free to step in. But so recently we had some discussions here about our fee schedule and the need to kind of analyze the different fees and maybe adjust some. We are working on the bulk of that effort, but had already done some work and completed that work in regards to our research on the mortgage rates. And then the library had some pretty simple changes that they were ready to make in regards to their fees. So what you're being presented here tonight is the city's fee schedule with those changes in relation to mortgage and the few library changes. The mortgage process, we contacted several of the other entities who provide similar facilities up and down the coast to try and get an idea of where we land in relation to other organizations. Also trying to line up the type of facility we have versus what they have and see if there was any similarities in rates and specifically really looking at the ports, Charleston Marina. So we're presenting to you an increase in the mortgage rates. We do still think we have some policy maybe changes here. We currently allow LIBA boards, and we're kind of working through what that might look like if we didn't. We've had some real challenges over the last, I would say, year or so with some folks who did quite a bit of damage down there. Historically, we've not had a really robust process in which someone can get a LIBA board ability there. So we want to rethink that a little bit so we can maybe reduce some of our liability, some of our risk. But we're not ready with that yet. So what you're seeing really is just the fees as it currently stands. We are asking that we not only align with Charleston's Marina, but have an increase beyond that. We're asking for a 10% above theirs. What is here, you can see is their rates, and then we've shared with you what the resolution would look like if we amended it with our recommendations.
Questions for Nicole? So with the living aboard on the boats there, since we're going to do an analysis on it, in the meantime, are we going to cease renting any new boats for living on?
So
Or-
we've made that decision internally just to not, like,
Right.
you know, grant access for additional liveaboards while we're trying to resolve this. And for those that are there, we obviously are continuing as is, but you know, it would be our long-term goal to identify whether or not we have the, like, for example, Charleston Marina, they have security that's there. They can kind of check. We don't necessarily have that. We currently have not historically asked some really important details such as insurance, you know, on boats. And so we have some legwork to do to even determine what kind of liability we have. I think our recommendation as we stand right now without all of that would be to say we don't do liveaboards. It's just a risk that we're not comfortable taking. But we've got folks living there right now, so we need to be thoughtful about that.
But we've had some issues. I mean, just recently, right? There was a boat that was sinking, the port stepped in and helped us, and we've
Yeah.
had this before that we've had to
Yeah.
deal with it.
And we recently had an individual who was damaging both our facilities and other boats on the dock. They were, you know, struggling with some mental challenges and spent some time at the jail and coming back and still struggled. And so those are the kinds of things we, you know, hopefully want to avoid because it does create a conflict for the rest of the folks who are paying to be safely there. So we've got some legwork to do.
Does the port allow the Charleston Marina to live aboard their boats?
So I would say they, in writing do not allow it, but they are aware there are folks who are living there
Oh, yeah.
and they're kind of in the same, you know, same position.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a-
Yeah.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
I'm assuming as part of the process, you had communication with the people that have mooring or that are mooring on our docks.
So we haven't had that communication yet, but we will be having that. We're also gonna, we've updated our mortgage agreement. We're gonna ask, you know, that we get some of those gaps that we don't have from them kind of filled out and completed. So we do expect that to be maybe a challenging process.
Okay, well, I think if we're raising the rates down there, this is the time to ask those questions, because yeah. If something happens and a vessel runs into the dock and we have a situation like we had in East Side, you know, and they're not insured, that's on us. So I'm hoping that,
Yeah, that's our end
Some-
goal.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
all right, makes sense. I figured you were on it.
Anyone else? Okay, hearing there's no other comments or questions, I need a motion, please, to adopt the resolution 25-32.
I move we adopt resolution 25-32, updating the city's fee schedule related to moorage based on Charleston Marina rates plus 10% and library fax fee elimination, lost item fee reduction, Myrtle Room rental fee chains, and fees.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution 25-32, amending the city's fee schedule. Are there any other comments, questions?
I have a comment.
Yes.
Just a clarification, the library actually reduced its fees. Or removed them.
Yes.
And the hourly, there was a 3-hour minimum too. I
Yeah.
think. Okay, anything else? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it passes. Thank you. Next item is consideration to adopt the strategic plan for the fiscal year 2026 through 2028. Nicole.
Thank you. It's kind of nice that we just walked the strategic plan kind of idea earlier with the work that happened through the economic opportunities analysis. So this is similar but different. Just as a quick background, we met earlier this year in February and March on a couple Saturdays. Thanks to everybody who was willing to give up a couple Saturdays and come together and discuss kind of some visioning and which helped kind of establish this 3-year strategic plan. Also, as some background, historically, we've done a 2-year kind of council goals, which has been effective, but it's left out some important elements that this strategic plan is going to give us. The tracking document that we've developed in help with the consultant can also be a reporting document. It also gives us timelines and, you know, a little bit more detail on how you accomplish, you know, in the council goals. It just kind of said, hey, go do this thing, but not really any steps to kind of move that forward. So we have some action steps and some due dates to kind of help us keep this moving. It took a little bit to get this document populated and in the format that will help with the reporting in. So happy that we're here. It's been a process just in itself. So interested in any questions, just kind of as a reminder, we had like 3 kind of high level themes from our Saturday work sessions. That was organizational health, economic development, and infrastructure. And then those were further broke down into the key areas that would promote success in each of those. So happy to answer questions or any feedback.
Questions, anyone? Comments?
Hey,
Will this-
Nicole. Oh,
Yes.
sorry, Stephanie, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask if this will be up on our website too, so that.
Yeah, we can definitely load it like this, just as it is. It's not a lot of data yet, but at least shows, yeah, this is what we're hoping to accomplish in the next 3 years. We did move from a calendar year just because the timing, this will be a fiscal year, you know, 3-year plan. So, thank you.
Lucinda?
In line with Stephanie's question, how often will the council receive an update?
So that should come out quarterly, and the consultant we hired is going to work with us through this first few quarters to kind of develop what those updates look like when we are here at the meeting, as well as making sure this, you know, the document gets updated. So we still have a little bit more time with her to work through the process of the reporting end.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? It was quite the in-depth process and very productive. I was pleased to be able to work with some of the staff and learn some things that needed some attention. So it was nice to go through. This is a lot. And so, yeah, I mean, this is a big task that has been placed on our staff. And so I appreciate all the effort on it. Anyone else? Okay, that being the case, we will adopt it and put it into a working plan. I need a motion, please.
I'll make a motion that we adopt the 2026-28 strategic plan.
I'll second.
It's been moved to second to adopt the strategic plan for the fiscal years 2026 through 2028. Any other comments? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, passes. Thank you. Next item, consideration to approve the intergovernmental agreement with Bunker Hill Sanitary District for wastewater treatment services.
Okay, thank you. The city of Coos Bay has been accepting and treating the municipal sewer generated from Bunker Hill Sanitary District since 1972. The services the city provides to the district includes maintenance, repair, operation, management, administration, and capital improvements for Plant 1 and the sanitary sewer system tributary to Plant 1. The district's proportionate share of flows at Plant 1 typically is around 5%, but does vary. And the reason for the variation is based on seasonal changes in the sewer flows and loads that the district discharges directly to Plant 1. The current intergovernmental agreement, IGA, was very old. It's actually 2005 was the last time it'd been updated. The new agreement reflects updated definitions and language for dispute resolutions. These updates are very similar to the IGA that council approved in 2019 for the Charleston Sanitary District. Another change, which is also in the Charleston IGA, is to add a city district coordinating committee. The committee shall be comprised of a minimum of 2 members from the city and a minimum of 2 members from the district, and the council and the board shall appoint these members. In 2022, for the City Charleston District Committee, the council appointed myself and the finance director to attend these meetings and has been very effective with informing them of new capital projects, discussing budgets, and overall improving the relationship between the city and the district. Should council desire to appoint staff for the City Bunker Hill Sanitary Coordinating Committee, staff is recommending, again, myself and the finance administrator. During the IGA negotiations with the district's board, they indicated they all wanted to be on this committee. Currently, there's just a total of 3 board members. And they also indicated they wanted that quarterly meeting to occur at their board meeting. And their board meeting is the second Wednesday of every night. So with that, I can answer any questions.
Council, any questions? So I have one, Jennifer. So I'm just reading through this agreement. I don't see anything in it that limits the kind of waste that will be that we must take on. I mean, my concern is what happens if there's industrial waste or there's waste that's coming through that's going to affect our permit, that we bear all that responsibility. And I don't see how, we in the city, if something like that happens here, we are able to control it through permitting and, but we don't have that, oversight down in Bunker Hill.
Was that covered by systems management and coordination? 6.1.
I think it's covered by definitions because it talks about municipal wastewater, and this is where I wish I had like the actual Word documents. I can go control find but if you would like, I can actually follow up with a better answer. But I believe I'm almost positive it's covered just from the fact that we identify this as municipal waste, and we can look at chapter or section 6 and see if there is further language.
Well, I mean, Stephanie thinks it might be covered under this one, but I'm really concerned about it because,
Sure.
with Charleston, it's a little bit different situation. They're in ownership of our 30% ownership of the treatment facility, and they have their own sanitary district that we work with that oversees Charleston and all that area in a little bit different way. I know that there's been some issues with even some of the processing plants, the fish processing plants that they were able to keep a track on, and we saw coming through, and we took those costs and we put them back on the district. And here, I'm not sure if we have that control or oversight, I guess.
Well, we also do weekly testing on their flows and loads. So we're going to know right away if there's an issue. I'll be quiet way.
It does say in 6.2, both the city and district shall take appropriate, reasonable, and customary measures to ensure that their respective sewage complies with city and district ordinances, resolutions, and regulations, and further complies with all DEQ and EPA guidelines and other applicable state and federal regulations.
Yeah, that's true, but like industrial waste is still going to be controlled under regulations, but industrial waste would be a lot more expensive for us to treat in certain circumstances. And I'm not sure, I'm just saying general. Am I right?
You are correct, but just like the district, the city also can't control what people discharge. We can go and investigate and then do education, and if it leads to enforcement, we can do that. So we also maybe at one time, didn't have a robust relationship like we do with Charleston now. And I think by entering into this agreement, getting those relationships formed, we're going to get there. I truly believe that there's language in here that does protect the city and that will put the onus on Bunker Hill to investigate should there be a discharger that doesn't meet our current code.
So if there's an industrial facility out there that is putting waste into the system then we're just going to handle it. Is that correct?
Well, it's not that simple. We every permit cycle, they have to do what we call an industrial user survey. So we're going to know if they accepted a discharger that potentially would have further implications, like making us go into a citywide pretreatment program. And there's going to be discussions up front. I hear your concern, and if you like, we can go back and we can add some language.
No, I mean, if and I'm sure Nate's not here. Nate must have looked this over, I'm sure.
Correct.
So my only concern is, and you tell me and I'm fine if you and the staff and Nate feel it was fine. If there's something that goes in that area that is going to compromise us, do we have to treat it? I guess that's my question.
I guess it just depends what agreements we have with the district.
Right.
I know that there are some properties out there. I know that Nicole has sat at the table, talked about developments. We've actually recently talked to the port about their property. They've been very informative. They've actually brought us in. I hear what your concern is, but I think there's measures in place so where we can have a seat at the table, get some conditions down, so the whole city isn't affected by one discharger. And that's what we've done just within our city limits too. There's pre-treatments they can do. They can have their own outfall. There's a lot of options.
Okay. All right. So you're comfortable with this?
I am very comfortable with this.
All right.
So my guess is it's like a capacity question in general as well. Like, do
Uh,
we have,
Well-
like, what's our capacity at right now? Or like, are we like running it full capacity? I would
So-
imagine we are in the winter.
We are now, but we are at the end of an upgrade for Plant One.
Okay.
And so that's going to give us a 20-year build out for both the city and the district.
I think we're all thinking the same thing, so. Industry X sets up out there, has industrial waste. What if they want to do like a huge volume? Do we have controls to say that's more than we can take? Sorry.
We absolutely do, and we have in the past.
Okay. That makes me feel.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as we have some oversight on what we treat and what kind of volume that, because what could potentially happen is if we take something on, it could affect all the rates for the city of Coos Bay citizens.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't want that.
No, that's what we want to try to avoid. All right, council.
Would all that, sorry, I have a question. If it was company X, would all that be vetted out in the permit process? So we'd know it beforehand? So before both parties went too far down the road?
So by permitting process, I assume you're talking about the DEQ permitting process,
Mhm.
and the answer is yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
And because it's in the county, there would be a county permitting process too. Probably.
Correct, but any increase to flows or loads, they're going to have to process through the city of Coos Bay, and they have in the past. We have dealt with multiple projects in the past where we worked with the industry or the proposed industry.
Sounds good to me.
all right, everyone ask all the questions that they intended to on this.
Thanks for your patience, Jennifer.
Yes. I think,
What do you want from me?
and see in this, also that staff will be involved in, future, board meetings, right, or attending, right?
Yeah, that's a piece, I think, of what we're asking tonight is to use the same appointees that you have appointed to the Charleston Sanitaries Committee. So, yeah.
Okay. All right,
Well, I'll move that we approve the intergovernmental agreement between the city of Coos Bay and the Bunker Hill Sanitary District for the provision of wastewater treatment services, and additionally appoint the two referenced Coos Bay members to the city district coordinating committee, which would be the Public Works Director and the Finance Administrator.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded to approve the intergovernmental agreement with the Bunker Hill Sanitary District for wastewater treatment services, and also to appoint a minimum of 2 city of Coos Bay members to the city district coordinating committee. With that being the case, is there any other comments? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, it passes. All right, thank you. City manager report.
Yes, thank you. Earlier today, I had the opportunity to meet with the new Coos Bay School Superintendent, Mr. Roberts, and kind of carry forward some of the work that we were already working with the school district on. Some items, getting our report back. We had a Key Club individual coming to talk to us, getting that back here. Doing some shared time that he would come and present, and we present on their end. They're also looking at a CTE program, very, very beginning of it, but potentially adding what we do here, public administration, as a possibility, which would get kids here kind of looking at each of our divisions, departments, and seeing what it means to be in local government, potentially considering a youth council. So we'd have an advisor group maybe that one of those members is elected to come before this body and actually sit with you through processes. So I think those are really important things as we try to get youth involved, the younger generation involved in the work that we do here, both in the operational side and also in the leadership side. also want to bring them in and do like we've done historically, acknowledge all of their, their successes and kind of move that past just sports, which is really what we've done maybe in the past. I think the first time we'll have someone maybe at your next meeting. The teacher who got this award, I think we want to have them come in. So not just students, but staff, anything that's great that's happening at our school, just trying to give a shout out for that. So. Also today had a meeting, the second meeting with Representative Wright. He's been hosting online talking points with his area in regards to infrastructure, specifically water and wastewater, what we can be planning for in the short session. And so we're just getting to really share what our challenges are. We did that the first round and then just kind of built on that a little bit more. And from that, hopefully we'll get some legislation built that will support what we are all trying to do here, specifically around housing. We know it's really difficult for folks to come in and build a house when they got to put in a lot of infrastructure. So some good information being shared there. On Wednesday, we have a update for the Oregonians for floodplain protection. Gonna come, you may remember that the city supported that group in furthering the disagreement with the FEMA buyout. So this is just going to be an update on where they are at. I think FEMA had a little bit of a hit at the federal level with some funding, so we'll get an update on that and share that out to you guys. Wine Walk is Friday. Also, and I'm not sure if they're making it open to the public, but I was going to share, they're doing Front Street Community Bike Works is going to do a community bike ride after Wine Walk. So might want to get out and ride your bike, gathering there around 7. And for the LOC conference that's coming up next month, we need to select a voting delegate. I think traditionally the mayor has been that if he's been in attendance. So, and then I just have to report that to LOC. So I just wanted to get feedback on that. So.
Who's planning on attending? I mean, I'm glad to sit in and vote, but if somebody else would like to do it, that's great too. Who's going to be there?
The conference, I'll be there.
Did you want to vote?
If I need to vote, I can.
No, you don't have to. I will take it on, but if someone else would like to step in and do it, I'll be glad to relinquish it. How's that?
There also, however, I am happy to have you.
Okay, all right. I hope that, I know it's an effort to make these. I just got back from Baker City for the mayor's conference. But it's always educational, interactive, working with your peers, and so it's definitely a benefit for all of us. So if you make it, I hope to see everybody up there.
Well, that's what I have.
All right. Council comments, Jacob.
First day of school, so kids back. Back to races, so it was good. It was a good day at Sunset, and I didn't hear anything from the other schools. No screams from across the town, so the thing went well. The district did ask if I could plug. There is a Nancy Gert Legacy Foundation event coming up on the 25th of this month, 5:30 to 7:30, and tickets are available. Unfortunately, only offline. You can visit the district office, which is now Blossom Gulch, and the Norm Hill Financial Services Building on Golden Hill. So just head up, that's enough. That's it for me.
Great, Stephanie.
I have a few things. I'd just like to say thank you publicly to Nate and our telecommunicators. Both our telecommunicators are such a vital part of what we do in public safety and police and fire and all of the other things. Just having that voice on the other end to provide comfort in what can be a very stressful thing. And I think this recognition tonight is certainly warranted, and I appreciate them. Also, Nate's guidance has been excellent. As Lucinda stated, Counselor DeNovo stated earlier in her comments. Switching hats to the Coos Bay Downtown Association, I want to thank everyone that came out for the Blackberry Arts Festival. The vendors were very pleased. They sold a lot of their wares that they brought. Some of them have never been to this area. I think there was even one that's looking at relocating a business here because of the success of that event. Anything that we can do to expose folks to our downtown area and support the merchants and just make our community more livable is a wonderful thing. And that being said, we have the Bay Area Fun Festival coming up later this month, the 20th and 21st. And that is a big send off to the summer. We'll have the Cruise the Coos, Show and Shine, the Prefontaine 10K, and the parade. And I believe I heard that they're trying to flush out some things, and work out the details, but I have heard that there's a toilet race possibly happening on Sunday. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I did say that. Anyway, 20th, 21st, come out and party with the Coos Bay Downtown Association, support our wonderful merchants that we have downtown and all of the organizations that make that happen. And thank you to all of our staff who help us make that happen.
Thanks, Stephanie. Troy.
I don't have any comments. I just wanted to point out, I noticed that the tone in Jacob's voice changed as the tenor of his days increased pretty significantly from the summer pace.
Yeah, changed, sure.
Carmen.
I got a few things. I just wanted to reiterate my personal thanks for the dispatch center. As a citizen of Coos Bay, I've had to call the dispatch center more times than I ever thought I would, and they've always been amazing. Just absolutely amazing. And I know how hard they work and how much we ask of them. And so they are greatly deserving of their excellence award. And I just wanted to give my personal thanks. I should have done that at that moment. But anyways, I also want to say thanks to Nate. Definitely been there since I've been up here at this dais, and it's always nice to have a familiar, friendly face who's been very helpful throughout all these years, and he's definitely going to be missed. Blackberry Arts Festival, you brought it up. I do want to know what a toilet race is. Should we alert the sanitation department? Is this part of our intergovernmental agreement that Blackberry Arts Festival?
Just before that end.
Okay, all right. All right, we won't have to let DEQ know about it. But yeah, we were a part of, in my personal capacity, I was part of the Blackberry Arts Festival. I think it went really well, and looking forward to Fun Festival. But also in terms of events going on, Music on the Bay is still happening. So got a few more concerts left. And so if you haven't been out to one of those at the Mingus Park Amphitheater, it is absolutely spectacular. You should go check it out. And I meet new people all the time, and they're like, oh, I didn't know you guys had a cool festival or like a outdoor concert series. That's amazing. And so share the word and try to make it out if you can. It's a really cool thing too.
If people wanted to find out more information, is there an online website they could go to?
Most of their information is on Facebook. Yes. But other than that, I think that's all I have for tonight.
All right, thanks. Lucinda.
I just had one question of Nicole. I think it was kind of brought up with Counselor Kilmer and I don't know if it was publicly, but one of the questions that I had was, where are we at with the project? You know what I'm going to ask Nicole at Empire Lake, Stone Toppets Park, with the defensible space. And that grant that I think were awarded 6 or 7 months ago. And I saw some machinery out in the park, and I was wondering what the status of that is.
Yes, thank you. That did come up at the last meeting, that question, and the contractor is mobilized out on site last week, I believe, and so the work is underway. I don't know if we have, what's the timeline for finishing?
I can get a schedule. I've not asked for one.
Okay. So it is in progress. The machinery
Okay.
you saw is theirs.
I think it would be beneficial. I know we got that grant quite some time ago. I know that it obviously takes time to award a project, and I also think there was some chatter on Facebook of receiving this grant a long time ago, and maybe the public not understanding when we could do it. Did we intentionally wait because it's safer not to do this in the summer months? So I would encourage staff to think about that going forward when we get projects like this. And it's the only thing I have for tonight.
All right, thanks. I also want to thank Nate for his service. I've worked with him for many years and he's always been a great asset to this city. And so he will be missed at sitting there all the time, but I think we need to be specific that he's going to be there for us to reach out to and ask questions. He'll still be viewing our resolutions and our documents and our agreements. So anyway, also the dispatch, I can't thank them enough for what they do. We're fortunate to have them, the difficulty they have to face all the time. And so the Excellence Award is very well appreciated. And I mean, for them to be recognized in that fashion, and our first time responders. And we're fortunate to have the 911 center. And Chief, I heard today that we still have some more remodeling to do, and I asked Chief Atkins, and he says, well, yeah, I think there's a few things that going on, office or something.
Yeah, we're just finishing up an office. And so for the most part, the construction phase is done. We're just putting the last little bit of baseboard and a carpet in. So.
Yeah, thanks. And Chief Chapiner today invited people to go back and check out the 911 center. If you haven't had the opportunity, you really need to go back and check it out. It's quite the operation. It's really been done well. And I think it's the dispatchers are able to work there and do a good job. So anyway, and we handle a big area now and a lot of calls. So anyway.
I hear they got the good coffee back there.
Also, Nicole, on the short session, are we going to be able to get grants or ask for grants?
That's kind of the goal of this conversation that we are having. It's very specific, of course, to water and wastewater. So we are going to continue to push forward our ask. We did ask for grants already. The Water Caucus.
Yes.
We put forth a whole list of all of our projects that we are hoping to get funded, along with the pump station. So we'll just continue the same.
So
and there were also some representatives from our federal delegation that were sitting on the call today too. So they've encouraged same thing, push all of that to them as well, because they do fund the state and they need to know what kind of money's needed as well. So
it's beneficial for us to put a shotgun all the things that we want, or should we be more specific?
So for the Water Caucus group, we didn't probably tell them all of our things, but our big projects that we knew we had challenges for were listed on there. So, and I think we continue to stand behind those projects until they're finished or we have another funding source. So.
And I think if there's an opportunity for any of us to go up there and testify, I know I would be glad to, and I think Troy's been up there and he enjoys it. So anyone else, we'd be glad. I'm going to volunteer everyone to go up there if they can. Anyway, it was an experience and I enjoyed it. And I ran to Troy on the sidewalk a few times going back and forth. So anyway, it's good to do. The other thing is that Stephanie brought up that we have the Bay Area Fun Festival coming on the 20th. And at Rotary today, which they participate, they do the Cruise for Coos. And so they're looking for volunteers. So any of us can volunteer to help with Cruise for Coos. To make it safe, the chief, the police department, make sure that there's so many people around to make sure it's safe for the cars and the pedestrians to participate. So they're looking for volunteers. This can be the 20th at 6 p.m. And if you're interested in signing up for that, Stephanie or myself can put your name on the list, and they would meet 5:45 here in council chambers, and then they would proceed out onto the Cruise for Coos. So if you get a chance, you should do it. It's fun to do. Great to see. Stephanie?
I was just going to say, if you like telling people where to go, it's a good job.
Yeah, it is.
It is fun.
Anyway, I'm sorry, we have another Rotarian, Nicole. So, in fact, she was honored today, but also, so Nicole can take your name also. Anyway, that being the case, anything else for anyone else want to make a comment? That being, we don't have an urban renewal agency meeting, so I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you so much.